So this is probably the second most frequently asked question here when somebody comes to visit us. How much does it cost to build a house here in Spain? And so there is a price market that is somewhere between 1,000 1,400 euros a square meter. But this of course can vary naturally depending on the level of finishings. But let's go a little bit more into this. So how do we measure this? We measure this in surface, in square meters. In Spain we use the metric system, and it's normally an average for a round figure in which everything is included, that it's related to the actual construction. This, at the moment, in 2019, the market price oscillates somewhere between the 1,000 to the 1,400 euros per square meter. And it's important to know that in Spain, these prices are always without VAT, mainly because the VAT situation changes from client to client, whether it's a company or individual, and whether it's a resident or not. So even if we would recommend that this is advised by a fiscal advisor, it's important to consider that into your costings. The VAT could be somewhere between 10 to 21%. Another important aspect to quantify this is obviously the type of finishings that are chosen. No? Naturally, the qualities selected for the project will then have an impact on the final price per square meter. No? For example, the type of flooring that we choose, the type of characteristics of the energy efficiency of the windows that are put into place in the project are all elements that finally determine the final figure. It is true that this is now a little bit related to the previous question on how long it takes. If you remember, we talked about stage 3 as being the moment where we design the project in detail, with all the specifications. And this is particularly important as well, because it's not only where you actually define all the finishings and all the elements, but it's also that previous work that you do in preparation for the moment of the construction. So to go back to a question that is often, or a concern that is often very frequent when people get involved into the process of building their own house, is coming up with problems throughout the process of the construction. And probably the best way to avoid this is to have done your homework right from the beginning and prepare this before you start. As a summary, this depends on size. Of course, as we said, it's somewhere between the 1,000 to 1,400 euros the square meter plus VAT. Depends on the finishings that we choose, and also on those highly detailed specifications that will provide all the necessary information to the builders to come up with a real accurate estimate.